Ooh, welcome to Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey. Is that how we intro this show?
That's not how I do it, but you go
okay.
right ahead, man.
I really tried. We have Mike over here. I'm Mitch. And today we have Emmy Award winning Rolonda Watts. Hi, Rolonda.
Yes.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be here.
We're so excited to
Thanks
have
for
you.
being on the show.
I just want to intro you a little bit how Mike somehow never met Rolonda, but I got to at VO Atlanta. It's kind of crazy. You're sitting there in your chair hoping you win a sweet little prize at the end of the long weekend where you were trapped in your hotel room. And and I hear my name, I'm like, there's no way. Or the ticket, not my name, but I get the ticket. Free voiceover session with Rolonda Watts. Okay. So I'm like, oh, yes. So I go up there, and on the way back, Rolonda's like, hey, I can't wait to work with you. I'm like, too excited to say thank you. I feel like I just I might have even high-fived you as I sped by, like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, wait, oh, shoot.
Making great impressions, as always.
I was just so excited to win something, you know? And then finally we got to go outside and chat with each other. And it's nice to have, like, a real connection with a person in the sense that I'm guessing you can connect with anyone because you just have a really nice spirit. But I have to tell everybody, before we get started, our session went so well. And it was for something that I was kind of nervous about. But you gave me permission to actually, like, get deeper into the character I already thought I had a handle on. You kind of like pushed me into some boundaries that maybe I hadn't played with yet. I'm like, this is why you coach with new people. This is why you meet new people. So all that to say, thank you so much for
You're so welcome.
donating your time.
Absolutely. We did have a great session, but you're really good, Mitch.
Oh, thank you.
It's what you did in the room. That's good stuff.
That was so
There you
fun.
go.
I definitely went out.
Direction.
I've known him for a long time, so I know how good he is. So it's nice to have that validation that someone who's just got a little more clout than me reminds him how good he is.
Just a touch more clout.
Just a touch. He just needs more clout.
And I feel like any session you leave laughing and sweaty is like exactly how it's supposed to go.
You were in Rose Vocal Gym.
It felt that way, that's for sure.
Good.
So this podcast, as you know, is mostly just about your journey, not about my journey with you, which, you know, is to be seen. But I kind of want to know, how did this all start? I know you weren't a voice actor right off the get-go. Where does it start with little Rolonda?
Well, I think it was Little Rolanda's where it started. I used to talk so much as a kid and tell stories that my father gave me a tape recorder.
Oh.
He told me, go in your room and tell the story, make up all the voices, the sound effects and everything, and come and play it for the family after dinner.
Oh, wow. What's
And
voiceover right away?
that's where it all started. And I look at my life today and I say, that's what I do. I go in my room and I make up funny voices, and this time I get paid for them.
Yeah.
But it's still the same thing. I think but really as a professional, I really started voice acting when I was doing my talk show, the Rolonda Show. And I would do my own promos. And at that time, I didn't even know that that was a voice acting job.
Okay.
If I'd have known, I'd have had a very different contract.
Yeah. You were doing two people's jobs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I finished my talk show, I moved it from New York to Hollywood to go into acting and producing and writing. And the writers went on strike. I was there just for a few months when the writers went on strike, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I know if you don't go within, you go without. So I said, what do I have? What are the gifts that I have that I can make some money on right now? And I said, I know I have a voice. Everybody in New York knows my voice because I started out as a news reporter and anchor woman and then the talk show host. And so back in the day when you would call 411, the operator would say, "Is this Rolonda? The Rolonda?" And I'd go, "Yep, there's only one."
Oh my gosh.
So I thought for sure, Mitch, I don't even know if you remember 411, but it used to be a number you call, an operator would answer, and you get numbers from her, you know.
No,
But
I often do
don't
this with
think-
Mitch. See, Mitch, back in the day, there was this thing
back in
called.
the day,
I remember
Yeah.
collect calls. I remember that.
Right.
Carrot Top, yeah.
But I figured I could do voice, so I went off, you know, tried a couple of auditions, could not get it. I didn't understand how I wasn't booking or getting a, you know. So I took a course with Kalmanson and Kalmanson, and that's when I understood how it worked. It's not really about your voice, it's about your acting ability and being able to relate to the story that the client wants you to tell, and being able to have those skills to connect with the listener. And so that's when I fell in love with it and became just a beast with it. Once I understood how it worked, how the industry worked, I had started a new career. And I started doing, I got Professor Wiseman on Curious George, and was the voice of the Judge Joe Brown show and Horse Court, and now Sherri show, and lots of animation. And I just love the field. And I just really kind of gobbled it up and wanted to try everything. And I think that's really helped because I do promos, I do audiobooks, I do podcast dramas,
Yeah.
you know, all the things that I'm announcing, live announcing. So it's been a really good career. And I tell you, my voice works more than my physical body does. So
Which-
that's been it really good.
Yeah. So I guess not everyone knows exactly how that transition happened, but like not everyone just goes into news. You don't walk into a news anchor room and go like, "I'm here." And they're like, "Yes, you are. Come on down."
Come on, sit down, put a mic on.
Like, did you have to go to college for that or anything, or is that just something you practice
Well,
with?
I went to Spelman College and majored in English and theater arts. Always wanted to be an actor. And then I went to Columbia University's Graduate School of Journalism. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. I really went there to be an actor. And I said, "Can I graduate from college early and go someplace where my parents won't bother me?" And I said, "I better stay in school, but I got to get to New York." And so I said, "Well, Columbia would get me to New York, and then I'll just go audition. And when I get my big break on Broadway, I'll just quit the school." I didn't know it was the #1 journalism school in the world. And I remember telling my dad, as soon as I get my big role in on Broadway, I'm going to quit this journalism school. And I remember my father, who smoked at the time, and you could smoke in restaurants at this time. He inhaled his cigarette so much, his jaws went in. He was like, "This woman has lost her mind." And all he could say was, "Good luck, little girl." I went to one audition, y'all, and that was it. The line wrapped around the corner. They treated you like dirt. And I was like, "I can't do this. I'll be back when you know my name." And I went right back up to Columbia and put my medal to the griddle and studied journalism. And it became my big career. So I started in a small market in Greensboro, North Carolina for a CBS affiliate,
Okay.
covering teddy bear fundraisers and crazy.
You were the voice on the street. You were
the voice on the street.
Now we're going to cut to Rolonda Watts at the county
Reporting
fair.
live.
Yeah, reporting live from
And
the
then I
big
went
feed.
to New Jersey Network, which was at that time in the '80s. There was no commercial network and by the way, there were only 3 networks at the
Yep.
time. ABC.
See, Mitch, back in the
NBC.
day,
Back
before
in
this
the
thing
day.
called cable.
And so public TV covered all of New Jersey. So I was on public television, which was great because I was seen by the #1 market, New York, and the #4 market, Philly. So every day I was auditioning. And one day I got the call. And that was I got a call from NBC, and they wanted me to go to LA. And I was like, "I'm not going to LA." The biggest story there was like Johnny Carson was arrested for drunk driving. And I wanted to cover stories like AIDS and homelessness and really gritty stories that were in New
Real
York.
journalism.
Yeah, real journalism, not I'm
Not
in LA
TMZ.
now, right now, but it's
Yeah.
very entertainment driven.
Yeah.
And so the NBC guy asked, he says, well, what do you want if you don't want to work in LA? And they kept throwing in, you can be an anchor woman. I said, I want to work in New York. And they said, well, call NBC in New York. And they hired me there. And so
Whoa.
I started with NBC, ABC, then went to Inside Edition, where I was anchor woman, senior correspondent, and producer.
Right.
And then the company, King World, and Roger King, the people who founded Oprah and Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Inside Edition, made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And that was to have my own talk show. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do a talk show, because talk shows were kind of strange at that time, especially for a journalist.
They were strange.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a man named Maury Povich?
And
Donahue?
yeah, but Roger King kept saying, Ro, you've got more to say than in a minute 30. You need an hour. And so I was like, okay. And so that took off, and we had 4 great seasons. And then when that was done, I said, doggone it, I'm gonna fulfill that dream of that little girl, and I'm gonna go to Hollywood. And so I packed up from New York and moved to Hollywood. My first gig was Sister Sister. Did a lot of you might remember that, Mitch.
I remember a lot of these things. Okay, I do remember Sister Sister.
I
Yes.
was thinking of you so young. Sister Sister, I played Vivica, the little vixen. And I did a lot of sitcoms and dramas and movies, made about 20 movies so far. And I wrote a book and just start a podcast, a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But voice acting was the thing that really allowed me to do other things too, because the jobs that I had, thank God, were good ones. And it allowed me to go out and audition and do some other things too. So voice acting has been a wonderful, wonderful career. And I think that even voice acting helps me with my physical acting and my stand-up comedy, because I love bringing the voices. The voices make such a difference in your characterizations. And I was able to use a lot of what I had learned in physical acting to my voice acting, because that's what we were working on, Mitch. A lot of the stuff I have learned in physical drama in terms of breaking down those characters and getting deeper under the story and realizing what story it is that you want to tell. So it all kind of works together. I mean, I think storytelling, if there's any one thread and all the different things, because they call me the reinventionist, I've done so many different things, but the one common thread is storytelling. And I think that is the greatest gift that I have is the ability to tell great stories. Yeah.
I'm curious because I will say, Rolonda, you are the first person we've had on the show who has been a talk show host. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, scroll back and probably about 7 minutes ago, you'll see my eyes going down and looking back. I'm going, and going back down. Yeah, I might have been scrolling IMDb just to see, because I remember the Rolonda show and 969 episodes, 4 seasons. My goodness, that's I mean, if you don't know, daytime talk show hosts, daytime talk shows. I mean, that's every day. And so I want to know what that kind of grind was like. You got into that. You went from news where you're doing that every day, but now you're doing these interviews in front of live audiences every day, every weekday with little break. And how does that work? I mean, did you have any say in who the guests were? Did you have a team that was doing that? Was it collaborative? Were you just, I'm the person with the mic and they're bringing people on? I want to know the kind of the behind the scenes process for that.
Yeah, I was one of the producers and one of the owners of the show, so I was very much involved. I had a great team. I had a staff of about 60 producers.
Whoa.
Or we would have a producer who had an associate producer, so it was like a team of 3 people on each show. And I was in the meetings very much because the only way the show is going to work is if we call it, let's Rolonda-ize it. Like there are about 35 topics that all of these talk shows do, but how do you make it yours? How do we make it my brand? And, we were at a time, my show ran from 1994 to 1998, which was the hotbed of trash TV. And to be quite honestly, that's why we decided not to continue the show, because I just wouldn't do that kind of stuff.
It
Couldn't do
stopped
it. I
being
don't think
heartfelt.
Spelman, Columbia, my parents. I don't think I would have the respect in the industry today that I have had I taken that route. That just wasn't who I was. I would never
Hmm.
abuse people or ambush people or destroy their stories. So we would do things like, we had to get the audience in, and we'd do stuff like, there are too many babies calling my man daddy. But the first couple of blocks would be a little crazy to give the audience what they wanted. But by that third block, let's make some sense out of this thing. Because at that time, the president had just called for deadbeat dads to show up. So we started bringing in like news, and I think that's really what helped us survive those 4 years, is that we were getting kids out of gangs. We were doing exclusive interviews with Jeffrey Dahmer's parents, with LaToya
Mm.
Jackson. We had James Brown come on. Forgive my phone. I'm sorry about that. Y'all should have turned that off.
I like the ringtone though.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm not at home. Can't answer the phone. Okay. A lot of really good guests, and we did a lot of really good work. I know we did. I know we did. So it was time to move on after,
Hmm.
Jerry Geraldo's nose, the throw in the
Yeah.
chairs, and it
Yeah.
was just horrible, horrible. You
Yeah.
don't do a show, you got to take a bath. But the schedule was grueling. We'd shoot 2 shows a day, 3 days a week.
Mm.
And then the other days were spent promoting the show. You were always out promoting the show, you were
Hmm.
doing interviews. Sometimes we also did a lot of live shows. We would go down when, the immigration story was big back then. And we flew down to Miami to talk about the immigration. We flew to someplace else and went live to talk about the abortion wars, and we were even threatened with bomb threats doing this kind of
Wow.
stuff. But we were a really strong show, and we were really really doing great
Did you
things.
say
And
that
then
was yesterday? That's just all sounds
I
so familiar.
know
What are we talking
Yeah.
about? Why
I
is
know
it so
some things
cyclical?
never change. In fact, if you go to the Rolonda Watts channel on YouTube, you can watch all of those old shows again.
I
I'm
Oh,
still putting them up on YouTube,
I
and a
plan on
lot
watching
have
Jeffrey
not
Dahmer's
changed.
parents. Yeah,
God hasn't.
yeah. It's amazing how issues kind of either they never go away or they're cyclical and they just come back.
Absolutely.
Um, but I guess it's good to hear though that that you ended the show on your own terms.
Hmm.
Because so many times you hear with whether it's a TV show, whether it's a talk show, whether it's a whatever, a lot of times it just ends because of ratings or because of infighting or because of whatever. But if you reach a point where you're like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, and then you
yeah,
transitioned into more on-screen acting. So
Hmm.
you
yeah.
get what did you get Sister right after that or?
Right after that, let me tell you, we were in the final weeks of the show, and they were looking for a love interest for the father on Sister Sister.
Hmm.
And let me tell you how crazy this was. It was so weird. They asked me if I could do an audition and to get a camera, and people didn't carry cameras around the way that we did. So
Yeah.
I had to go find one of those cameras you put on your little shoulder, those little
Hmm.
and it was so ironic. But my theater arts professor from college was in town in New York at the time. And I said, "Oh my God, you've got to help me do this." So she held the camera, and she gave me some coaching, and we did it, and we sent it to LA, and I got hired. And
Wow.
I think it was God's way of saying, "Little girl, I got
Time to
other
go.
things for you to do. You don't
Yeah,
have to disrespect people's lives and stories anymore. Come on." And Roger and
that's
I,
cool.
when we put that show together, we said, he would always say, "Now remember, we're doing the Lord's work. So do good things. Try to
Yeah.
make something good out of this." And people just didn't want to see good at that time. And I
Yeah.
think that's very sad. So we both agreed that the show was not canceled. It just won't be continued at this time.
Yeah. It's sad
Yeah.
because there's a lot of good talk shows on now. It's like that isn't as much the thing. I mean, you've got your TMZs and you got your other
Hmm.
things, but you've got some good. I don't watch a lot of it, I'll be honest with you, but I do see clips of the American Idol girl. I can't think of her name.
Oh, Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson
Yeah, well,
and
she
some
won't
of
be
these other
doing the
shows.
show
That,
anymore.
and Drew Barrymore has a
She's
show.
done now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she quit. She quit. She wants to spend more time with her family.
Well, there you go.
I was brought back into daytime television when Sherri and John Murray, her executive producer, asked me to be the voice of their show. So that was fun, and I got to ride another 4 years of talk, but they pulled the plug on Sherri, so now gotta find another
And
talk.
that's Sherri.
Sherri
what is-
Shepherd.
Yeah, she's from.
Sherri
What was she in? I know. I can picture her.
Yeah.
She an
I'm
actor?
trying to think. She
She's a
wasn't the.
Yeah, and you've seen her a lot doing stand-up comedy, but she has done quite a few shows. Yeah.
Was she the one from Community? No.
No, that's
I'm not sure.
No.
I know that.
Okay.
I know
Well,
that woman's
I don't
name.
want to sit here and take up time speculating.
So many blossom questions off of this, but you might be one of our most prestigious guests. I don't want to. It's
Yeah.
hard to say out loud, but at this moment, you have quite the card of work underneath you.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who you had on your show you were like, wow, I can't believe this?
Like they were like a superstar.
Or to you even, like, man, I love this author or whomever.
Oh, well, speaking of authors, yeah, not Jackie Collins, her sister, the writer.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
she was very
she-
prolific back in the day. She'd write
But yeah,
like
she had
3
all
books a
the
year. I
Lucky
know who you're talking about.
series. Yeah, is it Jackie Collins? It was Joan Collins. So Jackie.
Yeah, it was
Jackie
yeah,
Collins.
you're right. It was Jackie Collins. Yeah.
But I had her on, and I wanted to write a book so badly. And I said to her, I am so honored to have you on our stage. And you are such an influence on me. I really want to write a book one day. And she says, well, darling, just write a page a day. And in 365 days, you'll have a book. And I thought, that is right. If you just
There you
wrote
go.
1 page a day, a book's 365 pages usually. So that would, and she made it so simple. And then skip to, I'm now an author of a book called Destiny Lingers. And I swear that was that influence. But we had Flip Wilson in, who sat down and recited the whole Cahill Gibran poetry to me. And it made me feel so happy. He called me, he says, I like you because you're like the girl next door. And I'm looking at Flip Wilson, who was one of the first African Americans to have a talk show, have his own show. And to be on my stage just meant the world to me.
Oh, yeah, wow.
James Brown came and sang and
Yeah,
proposed
wow.
to me live on my
Godfather
talk
of
show. We had Debbie Gibson. We had Richard Simmons. We had just wonderful groups of people.
Yeah.
Patti LaBelle. And even the whole cast, minus Roxy, because she had left, the cast of the Jeffersons on. And Sherman Helmsley taught me how to do the Jefferson Shuffle. And we just had
That's awesome.
just great stuff. And of course, we had some really heavy duty stuff. We talked to serial killers who were in jail, and we did a lot of murder stories. And like I said, we got kids out of gangs, which was big deal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We did, just a lot of really good stuff. I'm going down memory lane. I could be here all day talking about it, but we
And
had
that's what we
it's
love.
all again on YouTube.
Very
Yeah.
interesting, yeah. And
Yeah. Hey,
now
Mitch, do you realize that we are in the game of 6 degrees of separation? We are now 2 degrees away from all of these famous people that Rolonda has mentioned. That's pretty cool.
we're so close.
Keep showing up. Keep showing up.
Yeah, baby.
And that's what your story is making so obvious is that you showed up first. You were a little sneaky and went to a college that snuck you into certain areas that you wanted to be in, which is perfect because you got what you wanted. And as your dad's pulling on that cigarette as hard as possible, that comment, obviously, whether it meant something to you or not, you did have good luck. You did try hard. You never quit.
No, you can't quit.
Yeah.
The only way you fail something is if you quit it.
Yeah.
Or you never know when one thing is to lead you to the next thing.
Yes. Because you could have taken the Rolonda show to a place that you felt uncomfortable, where you were always uncomfortable and unhappy, or you jump on the next ship like it sounds like you've been doing, or having many ships. You have fleets, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I just believe that your work should be, I always believe, trying to make the world better in some way. I mean, I don't want to use my God-given gifts to bring humanity down or to do anything harmful to people. So there was no way that I could possibly continue in any kind of grain that isn't for me. I've tried things and just said, yeah, this doesn't make me happy. You got to be happy.
Yeah.
You got to be happy in your work. And what is that? The Shakespeare says, happy is the man who makes his hobby his work. And that works for women too. But you've got to be happy doing what you do. And you want to do something you're proud of and something that leaves a beautiful legacy for not just you, but for the people that you touch. When we were doing our talk show, my goodness, there were over 35 talk shows on the air at the time, if you can believe that.
Oh, wow.
And there were another 30 waiting to come out. And there were so many talk shows on the air that they couldn't find producers. They had run out of producers. So a lot of the people that I hired were people who had never been in television before. And I said, you are going to learn how to produce from a journalist so that when you leave here, you will be able to work anywhere. And so we taught the receptionist, we taught how to be a producer.
Nice.
I'm sure she's pumped about that still.
Do you have what's like they talk about in the NFL, a coaching tree? Like you have all these people that were on your show, and hopefully you're still connected with a lot of them. Do you see like the body of work that they were able to do, and then the people that have learned from them? And
one of my first, I call one of my kiddos, Matt started out, I think he was an intern, and we said, we're about to make you a producer. And he was so good, and he was so thankful for the opportunity, and he was so blown away.
Matthew Broderick.
Matt got offered a job with 2020, and he said when he went in for the interview, and he called me and he told me, he said, when I went in for the interview, they told me that they would never talk to any producers from a talk show except Rolonda's show.
Really?
Because they knew that they had the integrity behind them, the integrity to do. So my producers went on to work for The View, 2020, just really great stuff. Television producers.
Yeah.
They went on to start their own companies, and many of them are still in the business, producing all different kinds of things.
The ones who want
yeah.
Brady.
Yeah, so I'm really proud of what we were able to do with our family, with our team. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's insane.
So my next question for you, I mean, this is really, it's amazing the things you've been able to do. And so, I go back to the beginning of your story where you're talking about going to college and going to Columbia, and you went there thinking about acting, not realizing it was the country's best journalism school, and then the whole story with your dad, and then you went the journalism route. You said you tried the one audition, it was a crapshoot, and you went straight into journalism. You had success there. Then you got recruited for a talk show. You had great success there. And then you were able to go in and do some episodic television and some movies, and you've had great on-screen success. And then you've parlayed that into voiceover work, and you've had great success. And my question to you is, you wanted to do acting first, but that didn't work out. Can you imagine this happening any other way? Because my thought is, little Rolonda Watts would have gone to those auditions, and she didn't get the first one, maybe the second one, and maybe you would have had success, but it wouldn't have been nearly the same story, and I don't think you'd be the same person now.
You are absolutely right, Mike. I thank God that I did not come to LA in my 20s. This is the sea of broken dreams. And the thing that they do to young people here, Hollywood is a trip, let me tell you. And I don't think I could have handled it at 20 something years old. Would not be you. I don't even know if you'd know who I am if I had come to Hollywood at that time. I always remember trying to come up with this way to get to New York, though, when I had that acting dream. And do you know that I applied for Columbia the day before. I mean, like 24 hours before it was due. And I didn't even know how to type. I was
Okay.
typing like this. I refused to learn how to type because I wasn't going to be anybody's secretary. This was the 70s. This was the 70s when women were getting strong. I wasn't going to be a secretary. So what do I end up being? A journalist. And I
Right.
went through, and they didn't even have, I learned on an upright royal typewriter, y'all. And you didn't have correction. So and we had to cut the scripts, and I would tape them on the wall to move things around. And so you had to retype the whole page again. It was crazy. But I fell in love with journalism. And it was something I had never considered, but God has a purpose for you. And I think sometimes you just have to trust the process, because everything is going to lead you to the next thing. Everything at the end of life, when you look at it, hopefully this not anytime soon, but things to make sense. It all, just like you said, that kind of, it flows together. Somehow it all works out. So, and I say this to a lot of younger people who are dreaming of things. Don't ever stop dreaming. I mean, I was 38 years old when I went to Hollywood. And at that time, the big story was, this was 1998. The big story was, if you're black or a woman or you're over 30, don't even think about working in Hollywood.
Wow.
And I said, I'm going to go and defy the odds. I'm like, my thing is, don't tell me no, because I'm going to do
Yeah.
it. Best thing you can do is tell me you can't do it or no. And I'll say, I'll show you. I'll show you.
There you go.
And so, and I also tell not just young people, but I didn't start doing stand-up comedy until I was in my mid-50s.
That
I
was my
didn't
next
write my
question.
book until I was my mid-50s. And so, you just keep moving along. Everything will come to you in time, and don't ever give up on that.
So did stand-up comedy come from like you just laying in bed and thinking some stupid thing that happened? You're like, that's a joke. Screw. Oh my gosh! Like, where does that come from out of all these?
I'm
all
curious
these
as
things?
well, because it's
I used to be so envious of my warm-up person. And she was so good. She was a comedian, Angela. Yep, shout out to Angela. Angela was my
Angela.
warm-up person on a talk show I did called Attitudes First, that lasted 9 months, and that was, and then I got the Rolonda show. So I brought her over, and she warmed up the audience, and I would always just like, I want to do that. And in the commercial breaks, I would be cracking jokes with the audience and doing like, audience work. And then I whispered to my friend Kim Coles, who's a big comedian.
yeah.
I said, man, I would love to do that one day. So Kim Coles gets married. She asked me to be her bridesmaid. And all the comedians were getting together, all these big comedians in Hollywood. I mean, Erica Alexander was there, Sherri Shepherd, Queen Latifah, all these people, and they were going to roast her. And she said, I want you to get on stage and do your comedy. I said, there is no way. There is no way I'm going to get on that stage in front of all those people and do any comedy. She said, Rolonda, you told me this is what you wanted to do. Now, what are you going to do? And I said, I just can't. She said, Rolonda, I know you've got 5 minutes of funny. Just get up there and do 5 minutes of funny. I get on the stage and bust into a menopausal sweat. And all I can do is I just started ranting about menopause. I said, sometimes the only difference between me and a rabid pit bull is lipstick. I mean, I'm going off about it. I mean, either Mother Nature's going through menopause. It's called global warming. And I'm just going off, and they are on the floor. And at this time, nobody was talking about menopause out loud. And they were howling. 17 minutes later. Now, I don't even know what the red light is.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
The red light is,
You went into a fugue state.
ma'am, it's time for you to leave the stage.
Please.
I didn't know you were supposed to write out comedy. I knew nothing. But when I finished, Queen Latifah came up to me and she said, you need to be doing this. This is what you need to be doing. So I started taking classes with David Arnold, who was a great comedian, God rest his soul, and started going to open mics and started writing material. And now I'm doing it. I'm about to headline at Comedy in Harlem. I've been at Laugh
Golly.
Factory. I've opened for for Kim Whitley. I've opened for Sherri Shepherd. And it's just been an amazing trek. It's such a wonderful craft. I mean, you know how we love voiceover, you know, what a great craft that is. But comedy, stand-up comedy is a wonderful, wonderful craft. And I'm still learning and still growing and still writing my material. And it's another job that you can do till you're 100,000 years old. You know, voice acting and comedy you can do. So I'm really enjoying the ride, to be honest with you. I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, I can't imagine going to just you know, picking up one Thursday night and going to Laugh Factory in L.A. and then suddenly Rolonda from the Rolonda talk show comes out and starts doing a set. I mean, you know, that's crazy. Where I love that. I love that about you, that you're like, you know, in your 50s and going, you know what? It's time to pick up stand-up freaking comedy.
Let's do something. And you know what's so great about it too, Mike, is that I get to use another persona, another side of myself.
Oh, yeah.
It's not this girl. It's somebody else who shows up. And she drops a few F-bombs.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we haven't heard one yet.
No, you won't hear one here. You might hear
She's
one on
fond
the
of the
stage.
F-bombs.
Are you going to be in Detroit? Are you going to be at the Comedy Castle?
You know what's really, you know, I've been really blessed because I really only work in New York and LA. But I would love to, maybe that's something I'll pursue.
There you go on tour.
Full
to
tour.
get out to Atlanta, Detroit, some other places. Yeah.
Dallas, come on.
Yeah, Dallas
We
was
all love comedy.
Oh man, Dallas was such a great market for us with the talk show. So all of that would make sense. Yeah.
If it was a great market for the talk show, then you've already got a built-in audience.
There you go. That's what I hope. I hope so.
So it all kind of, it sounds like you never try something and aren't delighted with it. I imagine like you had to...
And aren't delightful at it.
Exactly, yeah. You had to work at an ice cream shop and you're like, this is amazing. You know, I imagine everything you did, you're like, what's everybody's problem? This is great.
Yeah.
But from journalism, it always seems like snowballs into the next thing, where the amount of knowledge you have, you take that and you grow it into a thing that... So stand-up makes sense. You've been on stage and in front of crowds for years, and you've been telling stories for years, and as you said, making people laugh. So it only really makes sense. Yeah.
Well, you know, I will tell you this, Mitch, you're right, because my journalism helps my comedy writing, believe it or not. Comedy is about tight, get to the point. So in three short lines, I want to hear a laugh. Three short. So it's being able to structure. You know, you want to have a laugh about every 11 seconds. You know, so I'm always trying to get like, you know, there's always that. You know, so I went to the store, but I didn't have a shoe. But that shoe was at the store. You know, you got to have that kind of structure that goes with it. And
Rolonda's best work right here.
Oh man, she told that shoe story on the show. Oh, it was to die for.
That was going.
But it's also drawing from your real life. Like I do this whole thing, like I've been waiting around for Mr. Right for so long, I've become the man I wanted to marry. You know, and going off on things like that, things that are just in your life and making fun of it. And I take notes. As a journalist and as a talk show host, you're always observing people. And as an actor, you're studying people. You're studying. So I'm looking for the funny. I'm looking for the oddball twist in things, and trying to shape that into storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that I hadn't really acted for a while, and I kind of... You know, you kind of get annoyed at some of the characters in the world for whatever reason. But as an actor or a journalist or whomever, you're a wallflower again. And they're not annoying. They're a piece of interest. They could become a character, or the feelings they're feeling could turn into something like, it's so interesting how that changes the perspective.
It really does. And it's like actors are the nosiest people in the world. I mean, we are watching, listening, everything. The couple arguing at the coffee shop, we're staring. How does he move? Where does he put his hand? Is he going to stomp away? You know, the guy
They
who's,
catch you looking at him. No, keep going.
I'm just doing, well, keep it going, keep it going. I'm doing my
Doing
homework.
research. Doing
You know,
research.
I will even stop and watch a heroin addict just to watch how, you know, how they almost fall to the ground and then they get back up and they never
Yeah.
fall.
Hmm.
Or even weird homeless people. I'll study them. And you never know what bits and pieces you can take when you're doing your work. That's where our homework comes from. Real life, humanity, living it.
Humanity. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Boy. So now you do this
Yeah.
not only in the world, but behind closed doors. You took being on stage in front of, a live audience, to doing this mostly by yourself or with a couple producers or something like that.
Mhm.
Is there something that you kind of miss about that time, or is it like now is the time for voiceover and this is my new, like, I've shed the Rolonda show skin and now voiceover is like the top tier thing, or is it all your thing and you could do it tomorrow if someone asked you to?
Yeah, I think if someone wanted what we offered with the Rolonda show, and that was
Yeah.
beautiful because I was able to bring my journalistic history back in and and tell important stories. Even when we had celebrities on, we didn't do fluff. We went deep with our celebrities too. And I think if someone was willing to do that type of show, listen, I could do it backwards. I'm ready. But I'm not sure if that's most of the shows today aren't really dealing with issues. They're more like celebrity interviews and that type of
Yeah.
thing. And the talk show landscape is very, very tough. I mean, it's a struggle right now because streaming has really taken a lot of the audiences, and it's just hard to get the advertisers.
We'll help you make a podcast.
Sure.
Well, I did a podcast. Wait a minute, y'all. I was doing a podcast called Rolonda on Demand back when it was called Blog Talk Radio.
Oh,
Oh.
When my talk show was over, y'all, and I was waiting for work, I would get on Blog Talk Radio every Sunday and talk for 3 hours. And then CBS picked me up. I got picked up by a business network. We could not figure out how to make money with it. And I got pod fade. I did. I just was like, I'm not doing all this work. And it's not, I'll go just put my energy someplace else. But there are times when, my niece called me the other day and she's like, Auntie, we need your voice. You need to be out there. You need to be doing this. And I'm like, yeah. So I maybe not. I don't know.
Well, that's the beautiful thing is that you've got so many avenues that you're involved in. You've got things happening with voiceover. You still got some on-camera stuff. If the opportunity presents itself and it's the right opportunity, I see you going, yep, let's go.
Let's do it.
Because
Like,
that's what you've
you're
done
right.
your entire life.
If you catch me at the right time, and I think that, yeah, I would leave myself open for it. I keep saying I have pod fade, and I need to stop saying that. But that was honest. I just was so exhausted from doing it. It wasn't going anywhere, but it's a new day. And and so Auntie might have to get back out there sometime.
Ooh.
We'll ask you tomorrow.
Yeah. Just make sure when you do start your show, again, you have us on as guests.
Oh, no question about
Right?
it.
Right.
Yeah, so we're starting, it'd be like the 0-0 show,
Yeah.
the prequel
We're
show
gonna have
before.
a couple of nobodies on just to test the waters. There's Mitch and Mike.
Oh, you're somebody's.
Yeah.
We're
So-
getting there.
So now you've done some really good stuff. What I want to know is, in the voiceover world, let's concentrate. We've talked about some of the acting and obviously the journalism and the talk show and everything. In the voiceover world, for as long as you've been doing it, even back to when you did those promos and you didn't realize it was voiceover. Of all the stuff you've done, whether it's cartoons, whether it's promo work, whether it's the announcing for the Sherri show, which, by the way, Sherri Shepherd, 30 Rock. That's the show I was
30
trying to
Rock.
remember. 30
Oh,
Rock she was
good.
on. But what's the thing that you're most proud of in voiceover?
Winning the Emmy, and it wasn't just a regular Emmy. I was inducted into the Silver Circle, which is for my 40-year contribution to daytime television. And so it wasn't an Emmy just for one job. It is an award or an honorary award that covers an entire body of work. So I won an Emmy not just for the daytime talk show, but also for divorce court, being the voice of divorce court, for being the voice of Sherri, for being Professor Wiseman on Curious George. All of those are daytime. And most of it was for my voice work. I didn't even know you could win an Emmy for doing your voice work. And that's what got it. And I'm just still stunned. Also, the fact that, my babies, I've been doing Professor Wiseman for 27 years. And so my 1 to 5-year-olds, when I first started, are now having children of their own. And one parent told me, she said, she was trying to tell her 3-year-old, she's Professor Wiseman. And I was like, that 3-year-old ain't going to understand what you're saying. I said, hey, little boy, close your eyes. I said, hello, George. Would you like to go to the museum? And he went, yes. He knew it. Another little kid saw me on Criminal Minds, where I played a medical examiner, and I had on the white lab coat. And the little kid said, there's Professor Wiseman.
Did they do that on purpose?
I feel that that's good, that my voice is touching people, and that's good. And I was very proud that they made Professor Wiseman a Black woman, which was great, and rocket scientist, because I just wanted to make sure little girls could believe in STEM programs and use their curiosity to be scientists. So even though I'm doing a cartoon, it still is doing that good work that our work is supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, me over here.
Oh, Mitch, you got plenty for you.
Yeah. It's an inspiration too, because neither of us started this young. I mean, I am 56 now, and I just started doing this a couple of years ago. And so still day job and trying to make this work after hours and, doing the podcast and everything. But it's always wonderful to have someone like you on that's just like, I got this because I went after it. And I just, you have, like Mitch alluded to it earlier, where you just have this essence about you where you're just like, if I've set my mind to something, it's going to happen. And so it's an inspiration to talk to people like you, to get my fires lit.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You got to believe in yourself, and you manifest these things. I mean, it was so funny. I found a notebook, and I brought it on this trip with me just to read it. It was an old notebook I had from 2004 or something. And I'm reading in it, and it's talking about how I want to write a book, how I want to do a movie, how all the things that I did, but it was because I believed in it. And your brain is a ballistic missile. If you set it on something, it's going there. And you got to believe it and act like you already have it. Like, I know my voice. I know I have a voice. I know I can do this. And even though I was getting rejections, I was like, well, then I'm going to figure out how to be better. And I'm going to figure out why my voice isn't selling right now. And I took a class, and that class changed my life. And I think, get thee to a classroom. That's my motto. And I teach a voice acting master class. And I always tell my students, you got to believe in yourself. The only people who don't make it in this business are the people who quit. And yes, they're going to be lulls. I mean, they're going to be lulls. You're going to be doing, even Joe Cipriano talks about how he does 100 auditions before he gets booked. But when he gets booked, those are some pretty good bookings, And it's like playing a good game of golf. You keep showing up at the mic you swing and you hear that. Oh man, that's why you keep going back out there.
That one shot.
And you don't get it every time, but you got to stay in the game. You got to be in it to win it, and believe in yourself and do the work. I think that a lot of my success has become because I wasn't thinking so high of myself that I didn't think I needed to learn something. I mean, I would enroll in a class and I would work with a coach and study, and you get on YouTube University. You learn a lot there too. But the main thing is just to believe in yourself and do it with great intention. And I believe that the universe will meet you halfway. My mother used to always say, God believes in matching grants. You do your 50%, he'll do his. But you've got to show the universe that you're serious. And I think something happens where everything starts to line up because the universe starts to say, hey, she's serious about this. Let's help her out a little bit. Because everybody wants you to win. Those casting directors want you to win. They don't want to listen to another 500 voices. So come in there ready, come in there prepared, and be the best artist that you can be, and love the craft. And all of that it'll all pay off. It'll all follow up and fall into line, just the way, probably bigger than you've dreamed if you do it with great intention.
And the one thing we don't see in front of us right now behind that beautiful smile is those nights of grinding and writing that a journalist has to do as a producer, maybe not even sleeping a night. Or I'm imagining daytime TV, as you said, you worked almost every single day.
Yeah.
Left no room for rest or friends or family.
I know. It was, even when I was a journalist beating the streets of New York City, that was back when back in the day, where we wore beepers. And I used to say I might be on a date, and all of a sudden my beeper go off, and I say, excuse me, I've got to go. A body was just found in the river. I got to go.
Can I come with? Yeah.
That was you telling your friends, listen, page me in 45 minutes, and I'll tell the guy that you found a body. The body's been found.
This is a bad date.
Yeah.
Page me.
Yeah.
You knew that trick too, huh, Mike?
Oh yeah.
I feel like everyone could just say they're a
I married
journalist
my
now.
wife when she was 19 and I was 20, so I don't even know what it's like to date. I can't even recall.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. No, when you do a show and the name of it is Rolonda, you're no longer a person. You're a show. You're a walking show. And there's a lot you have to sacrifice. And I'm glad that I was doing the show back in the days before all these cameras are out and everybody's recording everything about you. I'd be scared to death to be out there.
You would have been on someone else's show.
That's right.
Yes. We're all on someone else's show. How philosophical, Mike. Wow.
Comes around, goes around. So, I have a question I ask a lot, and I'm going to ask it of you, even though it feels disingenuous, because you've done the journalism, you've done the talk show, you've done the on camera, you've done the movies, you've done the voiceover.
I'm aging.
A lot of times, it's is there something you still want to accomplish? You've written a book, you've done all of these things. So is there something you haven't? You won an Emmy, for crying out loud. Is there something you want to do that still at this point you haven't yet achieved that's like, you know what? I still want that.
Yeah, because I'd say that when I die, my epitaph's going to say, all used up. Yeah, I want to write a screenplay from my book. I want to write another book. Gosh, there's so much more voice work to do, and I'd like to make some more movies. I'm just a creator. I'm taking an art class. My father was a fine artist, and I believe there's a little of that in me that I would like to see. Maybe sculpture. There's a lot of things. I think I don't have a fear of dying. I just have a fear of not getting everything done before I die. There's a little urgency, to things. But I'm falling into more writing, and of course I love teaching. That's a really fun thing to do. So maybe I'll teach some comedy. Maybe I'll teach writing a book. Maybe some of the things that I've accomplished now I can give to others because I can't take it all with me. So the best thing to do is share that knowledge with others so that they can have the dream come true.
And we thank you for that, especially Mitch, because he's the one that won the session.
That's right. See, Mitch, see how the angels just lined up for you?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be because I'm a great guy. It could be because I'm cute, or I don't know what the thing is.
All of the and you're a great voice actor, so all of the above.
There you go.
Yeah.
Michael
Yes.
and Rolonda,
Yes.
I really want to act.
Oh.
And I really want to act with both of you. Can we
Okay.
Not.
hit pause?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm sure there's so many more stories we could pull out of Rolonda. Maybe after that screenplay
maybe
is
a
written,
second,
we have
second interview somewhere down the line.
I hope
But-
so.
Goodness
Tell
gracious! I
your
want.
friends about my voice acting masterclass. Go to Rolonda.com. You can find out all about it.
Yes, we do want to. Let's before we break, and then after we do the thing.
Yeah.
Are there?
Okay.
Yeah. The plugs, right? We want to make
Hit
sure
us.
everyone knows how to reach you.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we promote the show, we put it on the socials and all of that. We're gonna put all your links in there and make sure that people know how to find Rolonda Watts for all the things that you can benefit them for. In addition to, I mean, shoot, we might link to your YouTube channel too.
Yeah, and
Go watch old episodes of Rolonda.
there you go. And I will give your listeners a nice discount.
Ooh, discount codes.
Family
Everybody
deal.
loves discount codes.
We love
especially when they're named after Mitch and Mike. All right. But yeah, so how about we do a little pause here and we write something. We have ChatGPT write us something really goofy and really funny, and we come back and have a little fun with Rolonda Watts.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Countdown.
Oh,
Are we here?
Here we are. We're back.
Oh, nice.
And we have a little scripty poo for you, our listeners, our watchers, and we have made the Rolonda Watts a cockroach.
She
Here
did
we
this
go.
to herself. Okay, she wrote
She
that.
did,
I mean,
yeah,
you
she
know,
really did. But I didn't want to throw that on her.
Okay. I'm going to even change it up here. This is going to get terrible when I change it up. Whoa, hold still. Is this your first day down here, too?
Yeah, I came through the vent in the laundry room. Nearly got flattened by one of those robot vacuums. Oh, those are nasty little things. No personality. Anyway, this is the basement, right?
The basement. Tom Holland's basement. I can't believe we're actually here.
Ooh, me neither. Imagine all the famous people have walked over this floor. But Zendaya's probably in the other room.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you.
Oh, yeah.
Get out the way. You're standing in front of my toolbox.
Sorry, wait. Your toolbox?
My toolbox, a piece of insulation, bottle cap, dead beetle named Kevin. Been organized the same way since 1989.
Wait.
Oh.
You live down here?
I've lived here longer than any of your bloodlines.
Oh, that's incredible. So you lived with Tom Holland all this time?
Tom? No. Tom's new. Lou Ferrigno. You know, the Hulk. He owned this place before him. Before Lou,
Yeah.
there was a dentist with terrible aim eating crackers. And before him, a couple who argued exclusively in whispers. I've watched 6 kitchens get remodeled and 14 different refrigerators come and go. Humans mold houses slower than we mold exoskeletons.
Okay. Wait. Just a minute there. The Lou Ferrigno? The Incredible Hulk? Lou Ferrigno? He lived here too?
It's
Two
fair game, though.
superheroes?
Yeah, that's the way you say his name. Big fellow, very polite footsteps, I have to say. Never panicked when he saw one of us. Just nodded once like a professional passing in a hallway. Good era. Dropped spaghetti often, by the way.
See? That's history. But this is Tom Holland. Spider-Man lives upstairs.
No, he doesn't. Some British man with expensive socks lives upstairs. Spider-Man is imaginary.
No, listen, old timer. You're missing the point. See, Tom Holland, he's famous. There's millions of people know who this guy is.
Millions? Oh, that's just adorable. You know how many cockroaches knew that, Lou? 27. Every single one mattered.
Yeah, don't you ever wonder who's going to visit, though? directors, movie stars, maybe another Avenger?
Yeah.
No. I wonder who's making chili. I wonder if someone forgot to seal the cereal. I wonder why every human suddenly painted everything gray. This house used to have a lot of colors, you know. Now every room looks like a cloud gave up.
Yeah, still though, you got to admit it's kind of exciting, isn't it? I mean, every creak overhead could be someone famous.
Oh, please. Every creak overhead is 200 pounds of gravity trying not to spill coffee. Are you kidding me? You're giving humans way too much credit.
That's him. That has to be him. Oh, do we wave? I mean, can cockroaches wave?
Come here, kid. Let me save you 40 years of disappointment. Humans arrive, humans leave. They buy different furniture, they invent stranger cleaning products, and somehow make ceilings harder to climb. Then another one moves in. The only thing that stayed in this house is me.
Do you think he even knows we're down here?
Of course not. To humans, this basement belongs to Tom Holland, but to me, Tom Holland is just the latest guy renting my basement. Now quit talking. I heard I heard someone open a bag of pretzels. Come on, let's go.
Tom Holland's pretzels.
I bet.
Spider-Man's pretzels.
So glad
Oh, God.
for that one.
We got to hear, hey folks, we got to hear Rolonda Watts be a cockroach. If that didn't make your day, not just a cockroach,
Thank
an
you,
old
thank you
cranky
very much.
cockroach.
I've never played a cockroach in my entire
Now.
40-year history.
Now, I'm going to have to be honest. This whole conversation has led you to make that prompt. We've been leading you like that movie Prestige or something. I don't know. We've been
Inception
leading you
is
to
the
this
other
whole thing.
Christopher Nolan.
It's like Inception. Yep. Just to humiliate you with a cockroach story. That was hilarious.
Oh, that's good.
That was good
Yeah.
fun. Rolonda, thank you. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you, VO Atlanta, for whoever it was that drew the number, Mitch's number, so that Mitch could meet Rolonda Watts. So
But
that
actually,
Rolonda
I
Watts
was
could
the
be on the
lucky
little old
one.
Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey.
Yeah, I was the lucky one to get to work with Mitch. Mitch, I really,
Aw.
really see great things happening for you. Mike, I'm sure the same will happen for you as well.
Well, thank you so much.
I have to agree. Here's another time for plugs. If there's other places or things, we will, again, put them in all the spots they need to be. But is there anything we need to look out for? Tours or your website or anything?
Absolutely. Just stay in touch with me on social media at Rolonda Watts. And that's ROLONDA. There's an O in the middle of Rolonda. You can catch me on Netflix in the sitcom Survival of the Thickest. You can catch me there. I'm going to be headlining at Comedy in Harlem on July 31st. So come on up to Harlem and enjoy some comedy. And of course, I teach my voice acting masterclass. So those who are interested in voice acting, whether you're a professional already, just want to spruce up your game, or you're very curious and you want to start, hit me up, students.rolonda.com, and you can find out more about my voice acting masterclass as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I am looking it up
Mike's
right now.
punching it in now.
Yeah,
We haven't
you
even.
know
No,
what?
no, I'm
Goodbye.
looking up. You can catch you can stream season 1 of Sister on Paramount Plus. Just
There
if
you
you want
go.
to see, Rolonda as what is it you said your
love
character
interest.
was?
The vivacious vixen Vivica Shaw.
The vivacious
Oh, wow.
vixen Vivica Shaw. There you go.
But
Good times.
also
That's
YouTube,
awesome.
if those of you who want to check out the Rolonda show, go and check out some old episodes at
There you go.
the Rolonda
I'm
Watts
doing that.
channel. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
many places to
I'm doing
catch
that.
her because she's
And
done
if you want
so
to
many
read a good
things.
summer book, go pick up Destiny Lingers
Can we find that on Amazon?
on Amazon. And I
There
did
you
the
go.
Audible for it too. So Audible or
Ooh.
Amazon.
Didn't even
Yeah.
have
Oh,
to
heck
hire
yeah.
a VO because you are one.
That's
Very
right.
good.
Oh my gosh, this is so great.
All right.
I don't want to
need
say
end?
goodbye this time.
I guess
I
what we do.
know.
We must.
I've really
can just
enjoyed
kinda like-
this, guys. Really
Oh, well,
did.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you
Enjoyed
so
having
much.
you.
I'll speak for Mike and say him too, and definitely me. Oh, is that
All
is
right.
that the end? We're gonna thumbs up at the end.
We're gonna thumbs up those awkward goodbyes. There we go. Look at that. I give you fireworks
Oh, we
because
got
that's how
fireworks.
special
Okay,
I
hit the
am.
dang button, Mike.
All right.
Hit 'em.
If I can find it. Help! Help! Where's the stop button? Ah,
Oh,
there
no.
it is. Okay, bye, people.
Bye, people.